especially growing up as a Black girl in a majority white school, I definitely felt very unseen a lot, most of the time. That definitely translates to now where I really want to feel seen and share. I think that the most empowering thing now I can do is share and make myself seen and, unapologetically be who I am. I've been down bad too. I've been down bad recently. That's just what it is. But I want us to remember who the hell we are and stay the course. I realized, bingo, there's my life purpose. Leading by example and then turning around and opening the door for women who deserve to be exactly where I am. I want us all to eat, truly. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Mindfully Aligned. This week's episode is very, very much overdue. Today I'm spilling all of my beans. Yes, you heard that right. I am going to really dive deep into who I am, because if you're tuning in, you gotta know who's even talking. And I know that I'm a little bit of a guarded Aquarius, but I have to pull back the curtain on who Adanze Benjamin is. And I also need to talk about what Mindfully Aligned even is, what it's going to become, and speaking that into existence, because that is very important, and you already know that if you're tuning into this. So without further ado, let's get into this week's episode. And thank you in advance for getting vulnerable with me. I appreciate you holding space for who I am. So welcome to Adanze Benjamin. Who am I? Let's dive in. So I started this podcast my senior year of college because I think very deeply about a lot of things. And obviously when you're in college, not everyone's trying to hear about this deep stuff all the time, about improving yourself and the future and your higher self all the time, 24/7. No, but that is 90% of what I think about. I think about my future. I think about my evolution and all this stuff. But if I'm not sharing that with people, that means I'm denying myself 90% of the time. I'm faking 90% of who I am to make everyone else comfortable. And then I realized I was kind of trapping myself, and I didn't want to do that anymore. So I started this podcast to give myself a platform to express the things that are really on my mind. These episodes are based on themes that have been bouncing around in my head all week. And then I record, I release it, and I connect with you guys. And it means so much when an episode particularly resonates with an audience. It really does. So of course, why do I think so deeply about things? Who am I? What even brings me here? I've been through a lot of stuff, and I think that, like many oldest daughters, I am mature beyond my years. I'm 23, but whenever I say that, people get shocked, not because of my face, but because of how I present myself, how I speak. And that's not even to brag, it's just that I've gone through so much that you either don't survive it, or you let it become you, or you evolve faster because of it. So yeah, and I'm not gonna say that I had a particularly difficult upbringing. I come from a good family, but at the same time, many of you watching know that doesn't mean your life is free of struggle. That doesn't mean you don't go through things when you face the rest of the world, or you don't go through things internally. I definitely struggled with my mental health in the past, and growing up, it was tough. And my identity as a Black woman made that even harder, because when you are crying out for help, people are not hearing you the same. Whether it's a guidance counselor at school, but they're kind of brushing you off, or it's your friends who are happy to be your friend, but a little more uncomfortable when it comes to holding your heavier emotions. And then, parents who are Caribbean, and it's not really our background to seek mental health help. And so balancing between all three, I felt hopeless at times growing up. And my goal as I stand here today, and I've gone through all of that, and I've gone out the woods, and that's not to say I haven't gone through anything else since then. I definitely have. My goal as I stand here today is to be something to someone. I know that in this world, there are many girls like me. You may not even be a Black girl. You just might be a person who is not feeling as emotionally supported by the community in front of them in real life, and you just need someone to talk to, or someone who gets it. I want to be that person who, at least she gets it. You know what? At least she thinks that way. I know that I'm not alone, and there's other people online. I want to create that kind of space, that safe space that I wish I had. I also think that, going through things I went through, going through mental health struggles and not feeling necessarily heard or seen, I think it caused me to develop like a bit of a hard exterior through the years. Plus, I'm an Aquarius, so that definitely didn't make it better. I found it difficult to be vulnerable or open up about things I'm going through, and honestly to this day. But I will say that having this podcast is also therapy for me in the sense that it forces me to speak, it forces me to share the things that are on my mind, it challenges me, it pushes me, and it's therapeutic in so many ways. And it's really nice to be able to share that with people, not just shout into the void, but shout into the void and actually have someone hear it and shout back. Like, it's healing for me, and I hope it is healing for other people. And now I want to talk about where this is going. Like I said, I think very far into the future, because maybe I wasn't happy with my present. Like thinking about my future was always something that kept me going and gave me something to look forward to. So yes, I think very future minded. That's a fact about me. So from when I started this podcast, I knew that I wanted this to grow with me. I intend to be successful. I intend to be a leader, to, do groundbreaking things in my industry of digital marketing. I want this podcast to grow alongside me so that when people see me at the top of my game, like an Issa Rae or an Amber Grimes, and people wonder like, oh, a young Black girl might wonder, oh, how does she do it? There's going to be a whole podcast of like 300, 400, 500 episodes talking about my mentality, the things I struggled with, how I kept myself motivated through the journey. This is supposed to grow with me. This podcast is something I honestly did want to do from down the line. But I was like, you know what? Why don't I just have it grow with me now? And that's exactly what this is. And then came the greater purpose. So one day I was on the bus to work, deeply thinking, because again, I do a lot of that. Sometimes I'm on the bus and I don't even listen to music. I just be thinking if I'm not editing. So I'm on the bus one day and I'm deeply thinking, and I'm thinking like, what if I won the lottery? Because I saw like an ad for the lottery. What if I won the lottery and I won like an obscene amount of money? Like, let's say just like $500 million, okay? And I definitely did not have to work a day in my life again. What would I do with my time? Me personally, when I have too much relaxing time, I get antsy. It's the truth. That's just who I am. So I know that even if I won $500 million, I'm not going to be just sitting by the pool every single day, wasting away. That's just not me. I would find a purpose. I would find something to do that has meaning, that's bigger than myself. And I thought about, okay, what do I care about? I care about women's mental health. I care about Black women's mental health. I care about Black women's health in general, maternal health, all kinds of wellness for groups that are largely underserved. With a lot of things, like endometriosis, it is severely under-researched because it is not funded. Why is it not funded? Because it affects women. That's something that puts a battery in my back. So I care about women's health, women's mental health. Those are the two things that I think about. I want to empower women. I want us to stop using like 60% of our brain capacity chasing boys who don't deserve us or seeking approval from people who don't matter. We are so powerful. I want us to tap into that. I've been down bad too. I've been down bad recently. That's just what it is. But I want us to remember who the hell we are and stay the course. So when I think back to what I would do if I had $500 million, I would 100% build the podcast, turn it into a network where I create a large platform, larger than just myself, where women are inspiring and empowering each other. There might be a podcast with a Latina therapist giving great advice to, the listeners who message her and, do like therapeutic Q&As. I don't know. I want to be a part of that. I want to do panels and mental health retreats where we like sponsor different girls who are not the rich girls who can just fly to Scottsdale for a little wellness retreat. I want to give mental health resources and scholarships to women who need it, because I want to see them succeed. That's what I would do if I had $500 million. And that's what I want to turn this podcast into. I realized, bingo, there's my life purpose. Leading by example and then turning around and opening the door for women who deserve to be exactly where I am. I want us all to eat, truly. Yeah, I want Mindfully Aligned to inspire. I want it to be a comforting place, but it also puts a battery in your back to make you want to show up for yourself. I want it to grow, and I want it to spread like wildfire and inspire other people and get other women to have a positive platform on the internet, not drama, just things that make people happy, that are high vibrational. I want to create a high vibrational space on the internet because that is scarce. I just realized I just talked for like 13 minutes straight, and that was really, really off the dome. Like this is really truly coming from the heart. It means so much to me to be able to create and use the tools that I have. I'm really grateful that my life lined up in a way that I know how to edit videos and audio, and I can just already start my dreams. I'm so grateful for that, and I'm happy to share my thoughts with all of you guys, and I'm really happy when you guys connect with it and let me know how much it resonates. It really truly means the world to me. Mindfully Aligned is my baby. It's my first kid. It is everything to me. I think that this episode is a stamp of me being even more vulnerable because I'm really sharing what makes me go, what I care about, who I am, especially growing up as a Black girl in a majority white school, or just growing up as the only Black girl in general. I definitely felt very unseen a lot, most of the time. That definitely translates to now where I really want to feel seen and share. I think that the most empowering thing now I can do is share and make myself seen and unapologetically be who I am, and to no longer worry about what people think and just do whatever the hell I want and say whatever the hell I want because it's my podcast, my show. That is so liberating to me, especially after spending so many years not feeling seen, not feeling heard. It is so liberating to have this platform and to develop it and mold it into whatever I want it to be. I know exactly what I want it to be, and I'm really happy to share with you guys so we're all on the same page. And you know that if you're tuning in from now, you are investing early in Mindfully Aligned, and we are going to grow this thing, and we are going to spread love and high vibrational energy throughout the world, and I'm so excited for that. So yeah, let me know what you think of the future of Mindfully Aligned. I'm speaking it into existence today. It's very important that we do that. And without further ado, let's get into the song of the week real quick. So this week's song of the week, we're gonna do two. It is I'm That Girl by Beyonce and Sweetener by Ariana Grande. Now Sweetener, I just put it in because it's just my hype song that I listened to before this episode, and it just felt like the vibe. I mean, look at my room right now, look at the shirt I'm wearing. It's just giving Sweetener right now. Like, you just have to see the vision. And then next, of course, I'm That Girl. It's just a bomb song. I've been really re-listening to Renaissance because that album really spoke to my soul. That is the perfect kickoff song. It's the first song on the album, and listen, that is why it's the song of the week, because it kicks off Renaissance. It kicks off something beautiful. That's what this episode is today. It kicks off the new phase of Mindfully Aligned, where it's growing, it's developing, it's getting deeper. You guys are getting deeper with me. We're locked in at this point. If you're here, we're locked in. I think it's very fitting. So yes, those are the songs of the week. Sweetener by Ariana Grande and I'm That Girl by Beyonce. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I love you. I'll see you next episode. Bye.